Okay, welcome to class, and we'll be doing a project for this month. We are building an application, or we are creating an animation that children can use to learn how to count numbers from numbers from 1 to 20, then from 20 to 50, then they can also read letters from A to Z. Okay, now our program is going to look like something like this, though I've not finished this. So learn how to count numbers and read letters. So when you click on the start button here, it shows you can either choose which to
Letter
learn.
A. Letter B.
Okay, so I actually stopped here. So I want to show you how to do this, and I need you to pay attention, because at the end of the day you have to do your own program and send to me, so I can send it to our mommy's phones. Okay, so good. Now for this program, I use text to speech. Now you can either use text to speech, or better still, you can just record it with your voice. I think I'll prefer it with your voice. Okay, so I'll get rid of the cards. So the first stage is to make the backdrop. And now for this program, we're going to have 3 backdrops. So I'll click on stage here. On the stage, I'll select paint. So, and I have to import backdrop. So I'll say upload backdrop. I'm going to send you these backdrops to use, but if you don't want to use them, you can as well download any backdrop from the internet. So now I've uploaded this backdrop. I have to convert it to vector so I can adjust it. So I'll click on convert to vector. I'll select the backdrop and I'll adjust it. So good. After adjusting this is our first backdrop. So I'm going to type on it. I'll say learn how to count numbers 1 to 50 and read letters A to Z. So I'll select the pick tool. I'll change this color to maybe white. Okay, I think white is okay. Then I'll adjust it to make it big, because this is going to be our front page. So good. Then I can add an outline color from here where you have outline. So to just to make it a little bit. Yep. Okay. So I'll call this first backdrop. Then I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to delete this. So next I'm going to then upload another backdrop. So this time I'm going to use this image. I'll convert to vector, and as well I'll adjust it to cover the stage. So you're supposed to practice along. Okay, then next I'm going to type choose an option to begin. So we are telling the user to select what they want to learn. So I'm going to bring this here to the middle. I'll still make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so I'll bring this here. Maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller. Okay, very good. Now I'm going to add different buttons. Now you can create buttons yourself, or you can just use customized buttons. The buttons on the this on Scratch already. So I'm going to import the third backdrop. I'm going to upload the third backdrop, and this is going to be the backdrop where the letters and everything is going to show. So convert to vector, and I'm going to adjust it to cover the page. Yes. Okay, good. So next, let's go to the first backdrop. So I'm going to call this second, and I'm going to call this third. Okay, let's go to the first backdrop. Now for this first backdrop, I want to add a start button here, where when you don't want to start the program, they'll just click on that button to start. So I'll come to sprite here, I'll say paint. Now I want to add a customized button, so I'll say paint, I'll click on text, I'll type start. Okay, I'll make it a little bit bigger, not so big, So I'll select the rectangle and maybe draw a rectangle here. Okay, then I'll change the color. Let's use a double color, something like this for the rectangle. Okay, okay, so this is my button right now, so I can make it smaller. Okay, then I'll now put start on top of it. Now notice that start is not seen, so I'll click here, front. Now we can see start, so I'll change the color. Good. Now I'll bring this button here, I'll place it here. Now what we are trying to achieve is that when we click on the start button, the program starts. Okay, now we're going to get another button, but first of all, let's switch to the next backdrop. Now this time I'm not going to do a customized button. Let me hide this button. This time I'm not going to do a customized button, but I'm going to get buttons from the buttons we have here already. So this button 2, so I'm going to have this here. I'll call this button A to Z, then I'll duplicate it. I'll call this 1 to 20, then I'll duplicate it. I'll call this 20 to 50. So for A to Z, I'm going to select it, come down to costumes, and I'm going to type A to Z on it, A to Z, so that they'll know which to select. So I'll make it a little bit bigger. Okay, I think this is big enough. Then I'll select 1 to 20, and I'll do the same thing, costumes. I'll type 1 to 20. Now you can adjust this color. I can just click here, or I can even select everything and then choose to adjust the color. Okay, so you can adjust the color whichever way you wish. So I'll make this okay. So I'll still adjust this color too. Okay, so I'll type 1 to 20. I'll bring it down to the middle. I'll change the color to something very really light. Okay, I think I like yellow. I'll increase it a little and I'll place it here. Then we'll have A to Z, we'll have 1 to 20. Then finally I'll click on the 20 to 40 button, and costumes, I'll change it to this costume and I'll turn it to, I'll type 20 to 50 on it. And I'll change the color to something really light. Okay, and I can increase it a little bit as well. Okay, good. Now the next step is to arrange each button now. So we have 3 buttons already, so we're going to do something like this. Okay, now we've arranged our buttons and we've arranged our backdrops. The next step is to add the codes. Now this is how we want the code to go. We'll click on the stage and say when green flag clicked. So we're saying when green flag clicked, switch backdrop to first and then wait. So switch backdrop to first backdrop. So when we click on the green flag, backdrop switches to first backdrop. So we'll come to our start icon. We'll say when green flag click, because we want this start icon to show when the first backdrop is showing. So we'll say when green flag clicked, show. Okay, that's for the start icon, for the start button. Then for other buttons, when green flag clicked, they are supposed to hide. So we're saying when green flag clicked, hide. So this is what we are going to do for every other button. When green flag clicked, hide. Go to the next button. When green flag clicked, hide. Then to the next button, when green flag clicked, hide. Remember we learned how to use broadcast and when I receive block, and we're going to be using those blocks here. So when I click on the green flag now, you see it's just the first backdrop and the start button that is showing here. Okay, now we can move to the next step. Now when we click on start, it switches to the next backdrop with the other buttons showing on the next backdrop. So we'll come to the start button and say when this sprite clicked, which means when I click on this sprite, hide. After hiding, switch backdrop to second. Then we are going to broadcast our first message, which is broadcast message 1. We are not using broadcast and wait, so we're saying broadcast message 1, and we're going to call this message 1 buttons, buttons. Okay, we're saying broadcast buttons. So now we'll come to the stage and say when I receive buttons. Okay, no, we don't need to go to the stage anymore. So we'll come to the buttons here and we'll say when I receive buttons, show. So we'll do the same thing for the 3 buttons. So when I receive buttons, show. So we'll come to the next button and say when I receive buttons, show. Because we want the 3 buttons to show when we get to the second backdrop. So when I receive buttons, show. So right now, if I click on the green flag, it takes us to the beginning. When I click on start, we get this. Isn't that interesting? Okay, now before we continue, we also want this to, when you play games, when you use application, it makes sounds. Okay, so we want to add sound to each of these buttons. So I want to click on the button, they make sound. So we'll start from the start button and we'll come to sound. Let's use I don't know if we have a click sound here. Let's see if we have a click sound. Let's use effect. So I think I like this coin. We'll use the coin. So I'm going to be using the coin sound for every one of them. So when this sprite clicked, play sound, not play sound until done, just play sound. So then I'll do the same for the A button. I'll say when this sprite clicked, play sound, or rather start sound. I'll change it from pop to coin. So let me search for coin. Good. So I'll do that for this as well. When this sprite clicked, when this sprite clicked, start sound, coin. And when we click on the sprite, they are supposed to hide as well. So we are going to also add the hide block to them, all of them. So then finally, the last, when this sprite clicked, start sound. Let's get our coin sound, coin, and then change this to coin. So I click on the green flag, the program, I click on start, it makes good. You see that? Okay, now we've gotten to this point now, and I think it's getting more interesting. Now for the 1 to 20 and 20, and I'm just going to do little by little so that then you have to complete the remaining one so it doesn't get so difficult. Now, but before then, I want you to be able to do up to this point. Then when you get up to this point, I want to see your programs up to this point, then before we can continue and finish it up. Okay, so once you are done, don't forget to send me your program. I want to see it. You can send me a message on WhatsApp or you can send me a message on Zoom. Okay, I'll be waiting to see the beautiful thing you'll create.